Ryan Stallings, and I'm here to demonstrate and put in service some new equipment that we have at our fire department. So today we're going to go over the CMC Capto. It's a new device that we got. So this device replaces the standard prusik or rope grab, carabiner, and pulley for building a 3-to-1. And you can also add to it and make it into a 5-to-1, do some other different hauling mechanical advantages. You can also use it as a rope grab, and even in a personal ascending system. There's a lot of different things we can do, but our bread and butter and the most basic thing that we're going to do is setting up a 3-to-1 for a haul system. So we're going to go over the CMC Capto, and we're also going to go over this new rigging device that we have called the CMC Squid. Okay, so the nice thing about the Squid and the unique thing about the Squid, it has a horizontal connection point for back rigging, and then it has 2 vertical connection points for connecting in most likely our CMC clutches. So if I rotate this over, you can see that this is rated for 45 kilonewtons. So it's incredibly strong and beefy. It's NFPA compliant, and it's got these 2 vertical rigging connections so that we can clip the CMC clutches in and they can stay nice and tight together next to each other for easy operations. So at our department, we've been using a twin tension rope system for quite a while with the clutches, but now we're going to be able to bring them together to have a single person operating both clutches and managing the rope. So in this situation, we've rigged this up to these 2 bollards. This is just for demonstration purposes only. So if we had 2 bollards or 2 rigging points on the back of a truck or 2 different trees, we could focus them together into this one squid rigging point, which allows us to align these 2 clutches in line with each other. And one operator can then, with one hand, manipulate both handles with one hand like this, and they can reach over and they can control the friction with the other hand, either below or above and around like this. And then we can also have a second person managing the rope behind them with a loose grip on the rope and helping manage friction and make sure that the ropes are moving at the same speed. So for lowering, one person, they can do what's called shark finning. They can take their one hand and they can manage both ropes at the same time while letting the rope run through their hand back behind the devices. So I'm going to lower. Okay. If I had a true live load, this would be a lot smoother, but we have another firefighter pulling on the line. We know the benefits now of the Squid. It has these vertical connection points that allow the carabiners to line up just right for the clutches to orient right next to each other in a real ergonomic and easy to manage situation for one operator. Okay, so now we're going to incorporate the Capto for hauling. So the CMC Capto, it's a rope grab and a pulley all together. And now it has a push button side plate opening, 2 action side plate opening, 1 and then 2. So now it has a channel that we load onto the loaded strand of the rope. We have a little indicator with an arrow towards the load. Okay, so we load it into the channel, and then we take the tail end of the rope and we load it around the pulley. So we have a nice little efficient pulley, and we have an eye that we can connect an extra carabiner for an extra pulley if we wanted to make this into a 5-to-1. So now we load our rope through around the pulley, rope's in the channel, and we can click it closed. So we can see it has a cam that bites down on the rope. The more we load on the rope, the tighter that bites down. And then we have a pulley. So this replaces a prusik or a rope grab, a carabiner, and a pulley, all with one device. So in theory, this should simplify things, take up less space in our bags, make it easier for a new firefighter who's learning rope rescue to be able to grab one device and build a 3-to-1 really quickly. It also has this eye that you can run a string through that you can connect through here, and it makes it easy so that you can then reset your Capto. And once I build both of these Captos, I'll demonstrate that. So if you needed to pull back on the Capto, you just push up on that cam and then you can bring it back. And then you can also grab it and slide it forward rather easy, and it doesn't create a lot of friction. So now that we have both of these clutches next to each other, we can set up both of these Captos. So I've just taken some throw line for arborists, and I've made my own little strings. These don't need to be rated for any weight. They're just for resetting the system. So now I've taken some throw line, arborist throw line. I'll run it through a change of direction where my ropes are going. So if these were going through a tripod at a change of direction over a cliff, or if they were going to the base of a tree like we do for tree rescue, I can take my throw line, run it through a pulley or a change of direction at the base of the tree. So we're simulating that we are at an anchor point outside of a hazard zone underneath the tree. We don't want to go underneath that tree and be at risk of branches falling or the jumper falling down on us. And if we want to be able to reset our haul, we can do that from a safe place. So now we can take a carabiner, clip into both of our Captos, and we can do a reset from where we're hauling in a safe area. So I can then just pull on that and I can reset all the way back as far as I need to with this string pulling forward on these two little slings that we have through the Capto. So now we'll simulate that this is fully reset. So now one person can grab both ropes of the main and belay or the twin tension rope system, and you can haul on both of these at the same time. So once again, to lower, one person can operate both clutches at the same time. We just pull up and we do what's called the shark fin. I let the rope run through my back hand with a full grip around both ropes. I would have a second person behind me also controlling the ropes. We've gone over how the Squid is used, how it's important to be able to configure our system correctly in a twin tension rope system. And we've gone over the operation of the Capto. So this replaces a rope grab or a prusik, a carabiner, and a pulley. We can also clip in through here and have another pulley back behind it to make a 5-to-1 mechanical advantage. 2 action side plate opening. So one push and let go, and then a second push will fully open up the side plate, load the loaded strand of the rope through the channel, load the tail strand of the rope through the pulley, fully close it up, and then it's ready for hauling. So once you start hauling, go ahead and give me some tension. Once you start hauling, this rope grab will bite down and it'll grip the rope. And we can haul like so. If we need to reset it, you can either manually do it by pushing back on this cam to release the grip on the rope, and we can advance it forward. Okay, go ahead and give me some really solid grip on that. So then when it's time to start hauling, that cam will bite down on the rope and we can haul. And then if we need to reset, we can either pull forward on this string or we can push forward on the cam like so. So that's the Capto. It's a pretty awesome device that replaces a lot of other equipment to be able to create a 3-to-1.